got acceleration, SMS, email, remote data, phone, and a number of things on it. So I'm just going to build a simple app that just demonstrates a bunch of things and shows the source code for how to do it. And then it binds these to a list. So we've got our list item, and the data provider is the demo list. And the demo list is constructed. It has to be an item collection interface, which is a special type of interface that can be deployed onto a list component, but it takes as an array as its method constructor argument. And then we just get the current item and add it as a string onto the labels, because the label can't display the object, it can only display the string. If it's selected, we then go and pass the event up and look at the selected item, cast it as a string, and then if it's the accelerometer, we push a view to the accelerometer. I'm not pushing any data right now. The accelerometer view is pretty easy. So let's just fix the indentation on here first, so it looks pretty, because code is art. Basically, we do an import. The flash.sensors is a new package for mobile devices. We create a new accelerometer object, and basically we add an event listener to it. And the event listener has an update event, so whenever it's moved or updated, it gets called. I'm going to try to run this on my mobile device here, just so you can see it working. I'm going to pray that it works this time. And basically there's a small label on it, and the label basically has an ID of L, and it just says L text equals, and it just appends the event acceleration, X acceleration, Y acceleration, Z, and the timestamp objects to it. So if anyone guessed roughly 20 lines, 22, 25 lines of code, this is correct. So let's configure this one to run. And of course, that's doing a good coding practice too, of seeing if the accelerometer is supported or not. So that's extra code that you didn't really need. Okay. Mobile demos, run on device, run. If it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to show it's working this time. Okay. So there we go. Now we should see a list pop up there, and the list should have on it accelerometer, and here it is. And you can see these little tiny numbers changing as I move it. So if we wanted to do something, there's a lot of other things we can support on this as well. Very easy to program for. Gestures. Gestures are kind of something you'd expect. So you're used to doing this 2-finger squeeze and move. And this I don't even have to do it on the mobile device. But this is a something you want to think about. Let's just see if this one works first. So here's a simple application. This one just declares an array of colors, and it's got an ellipse and a border container with different background colors, and this is it. And I can use my touchpad on my screen to make it larger and smaller. Oh, thanks. To make it larger and smaller. But if this is running, I can show you the touchpad here. If I put this on it and do this, which is something we expect to do on mobile, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that well. It's actually pretty easy to add this kind of functionality. So what we're going to do is say when the application completes, we're going to call a function called init. And now I'll build the script for this function here. And we've got a border container with an ID of my VC for my border container. So we'll build the init function. It returns nothing. And call myVC.addEventListener, and we've added transform gesture event. So there's a zoom event, and we have to say where we're going to send it. So we're going to send it to the onZoom event handler, which will allow us to write. transform gesture event. And then basically what we have to do is create a sprite object outside of the Flash object. So we'll create a member variable called mySprite and type it to sprite. And we'll take myBC as a sprite. And basically then we can just say that mySprite dot scaleX equals event scaleX. That won't work actually. It has to be proportional. I'm just going to be lazy and copy that down and change that to Y as well. By the way, if you make any glaring typos, please call them out. Run to me. And now we've got something that we can scale. We can make it big and small. Okay, mobile consideration. What's the problem here going to be? Anyone? Well, that one, because you have to have two fingers on the screen to make it scroll like that. Here's the problem here. Say it's not the whole thing. Say just the ellipse was it, and the user did this, put this on here, and went like that, and all of a sudden it gets to the point where they can't fit two fingers on it to resize it back up. So in that case, you're going to want to add something, to save for that. So, in this case, you add like a variable, say like there's a static length, and read it, and if it scales, just put an if condition in that if it tries to scale below a certain amount, don't let it do so, because that would be a very bad thing. Likewise, there are other gestures supported. So there's rotation is supported, and rotation has some funny events too. So let's just try this one. Guess I meant Martha Stewart. So this one's rotate, and it's got zoom, and it's also got pan. Oh no, it doesn't have pan on it. Okay. So one of the considerations if you start to do this kind of thing is, okay, if you add zoom, you probably have to add pan too. So the pan gesture allows somebody to swipe something over. And then you have another question that comes up. If you have pan, rotate, and zoom, if the person does this, turns it like this, and then they pan it, which way should it move? Should it move up and down, true to its original axis, or should it move this way, true to its current axis? Current axis. There's no right or wrong answer. Depending, if it's somebody who's got a map and they're trying to align it with the way they're looking, they probably want to be able to have it on the current axis. Okay, so as a developer and designer, you have to very much think about how your end user experience is going to be with this. The best way to do it is give it to Reset there, because he knows a lot and he'll be able to test it. Okay. So we've got all of the standard, one of the first demos we did was a permission for the internet. The reorientation is pretty cool. One of the things that's supported now in this is the burrito build, is if you design this and run it. So let's see if I've got one here I can run locally.
There's a question over here.
Yeah, just wondering with Apple's recent reversal on their stance of allowing third-party apps to cross-compile for iOS devices, is there going to be any support for iOS in Flex or Flash Builder?
So the answer to that is yes. We developed the cross-compiling capability from CS when it was developed for CS5. We put a lot of effort into it. We put over a year of energy into it with a lot of engineers, and it was actually kept secret even in the company. Nobody knew what was happening. When Apple changed that, a lot of the development work on it just stopped. I mean, it was a big rush to get it out for Adobe Max 2009. And what happened after